Am I the jerk for cutting back on work to prove a point to my wife? My wife is usually an angel of a woman, but has recently gotten into a friendship with a woman whom I personally believe is a bad influence on her, not in a patronizing way, more of a lay down with dogs, get up with fleas type of situation. I never said anything about her childishness or her very radical misandry, because frankly it doesn't affect me. Until it did. A few months ago my wife began pressuring me to do more around the house. Before I get an instant OODA. We already split chores and childcare. Admittedly, she had a bigger cut than I because she is a stay-at-home mom, but I do most of the cooking, breakfasts and dinners. Lunch is her responsibility for her and the boys. I take out the garbage and I do laundry, and I deep clean the bathrooms once a week. I do also help with our boys' homework and such. She insists that I am not doing enough and that I should be doing more around the house. I tried having discussions with her asking what she expected from me, namely all chores and child rearing should be my duty it seems, and for months it seemed to be going nowhere. She used the D word more than once when speaking on this, which felt manipulative. It boiled over when we were out with friends one night, and she began talking about how I never helped out and how I use her as a house slave, her words. I will admit I saw red. This next part is where I may be the jerk. I didn't say anything that night, but the next day I asked my boss to be given reduced hours for the next little bit, due to stress. And I took over everything in the house. I cooked breakfast, and made lunch for the boys before I drove them to school. I cleaned the house top to bottom. I did every dish we had twice and so on. My wife was blindingly happy, and bragged to her friend that she finally had me worn in. She didn't lift a finger for around a month. Then she began asking why we never went on dates anymore and complaining that she wanted to get her nails done as they were growing in. I explained that I had to take that out of our budget so we could continue to afford everything else, but we could absolutely have a movie night in, and I could paint her nails for her. She was unhappy with that solution, so I asked her if she would want to get a part-time job to pay for either luxuries. You would have thought I asked if she wanted to join a cult. She then asked if I could just pick up more shifts at work to cover her other expenses, and use the phrase be a man. Which I found more than a little insulting. I then asked her if she would be willing to go back to splitting the chores and such. Which is when she began to catch on that the two were related. She yelled at me that I was being a manipulative jerk for doing this and even claimed it was financial a word. I stood strong for a while, but now I am questioning my methods, because even I feel what I did was a bit underhanded. So am I the jerk?